Sad Satan serum, a descent into madness. On June 25th, 2015, a chilling presence emerged on the internet. The YouTube channel Obscure Horror Corner uploaded the first of 5 gameplay videos for a game that would soon become infamous. Sad Satan. This was the very first documented appearance of the game, and from that moment it cast an eerie, unsettling shadow across the online world. Like any other horror game at the time, Sad Satan wasn't interested in jump scares or heart-pounding chases. There were no enemies lurking in the shadows, no weapons to wield in defense, and no goals to achieve. Instead, players were forced into a nightmare, a labyrinth of dark, suffocating corridors that stretched on endlessly. The game had no purpose, and yet it felt like it was alive. A twisted thing that wanted to torment the player for no reason other than to make them feel helpless and trapped. With each step, the player's screen grew dimmer, the sounds more disturbing. The game's environment was claustrophobic, as though the very walls were closing in. It was a world of endless confusion. And then, without warning, it would happen. A flash of something so brief, so cryptic, you'd wonder if you had imagined it. A strange symbol, a garbled audio clip, a fleeting image that felt like a sickening premonition. The first time it happened, you'd be unsure. Was it your mind playing tricks on you? Was there something hidden beneath the surface? Something dark and monstrous waiting to reveal itself? As the game went on, you realized it wasn't just your imagination. Sad Satan was a vessel for horror, one that offered no clear answers, only discomforting questions. The randomness of the terror was what made it so disturbing. What made this game stand out was not just its atmosphere, but the horrific content buried beneath it. The game's true horror wasn't visible on the surface. It was hidden in the cracks. Sad Satan became infamous for its association with some of the darkest, most depraved content the internet has ever seen. The game's disturbing imagery and sounds were linked to illegal, unspeakable material. It was a game designed to unsettle you at every turn, pushing boundaries, questioning sanity. As you navigated through the suffocating corridors, the sounds became increasingly jarring. First, it was just random noise, distorted music, the occasional warped scream, and unnerving laughter echoing from the darkness. But then, you began hearing something else. Interviews with serial killers would intermittently play, fragmented, broken pieces of their voices, whispering horrors that sent a cold shiver crawling up your spine. It was as if the game was feeding on your fear, using these voices to amplify it, twisting them into a nightmarish chorus of madness. And then, the images. They were random at first, unassuming, black and white photos of statues, cryptic symbols flashing in and out of view, their meaning slipping away like sand through your fingers. But soon the flashes took a darker turn. They showed you mugshots, criminals, their eyes hollow and lifeless, staring directly into yours as if daring you to look away. But that wasn't the worst part. The true horror came in the form of a familiar figure, someone who was once a beloved television personality, Jimmy Savile, the disgraced TV host. His face appeared time and again in the game, a grotesque reminder of decades of child abuse, his presence a silent condemnation of the game itself. It was as if Sad Satan was warning you, this is the kind of world we live in, a world where the most horrific crimes are hidden beneath the surface, disguised as something innocent, until you peel back the layers and see the rot. Then there were the children, ghostly pale figures that would appear in the dark corners of the corridors. You'd hear their footsteps echoing behind you, soft and almost imperceptible. At first, it was easy to dismiss them as just another element of the game's twisted design. But as the game went on, one of these spectral children began to follow you. There was no escape from its relentless pursuit. It wasn't a jump scare, no. It was a slow, suffocating dread that began to gnaw at your mind. And when the child finally caught up to you, the game ended. You ended, consumed by the haunting silence of the figure. The game's final eerie message: you are not free. But as unsettling as the original Sad Satan game was, the true horror would not come until July 7, 2015. This was when the game's download link appeared on 4chan's paranormal board. For those who dared to download it, the game morphed into something far darker. A demonic version, one that seemed to carry a curse. Those who played it quickly realized they were no longer just playing a game. They were participating in something much more sinister. The clone was said to contain explicit and graphic images of mutilated bodies, shocking levels of gore, and the most illegal, depraved content imaginable. But that wasn't all. The game was also infected with malware, designed to infiltrate and damage your computer, crashing it at will, making your device feel like it was alive, like it had become part of the game itself. Jamie, the supposed creator of Sad Satan, denied any connection to this version, claiming the copy he had played was free from any illegal content. But his story had gaps, questions that went unanswered. How could he claim ignorance when the game's true nature was so pervasive? He said the game had been sent to him by an anonymous user named ZK, who provided a link to the game hosted on a hidden Tor server. But this too raised red flags. Where did the original gameplay footage come from? Why were the download links all fake? People began to dig deeper into the meaning of Sad Satan. The constant references to Jimmy Savile and the ghostly children pointed to a chilling interpretation, that the game was a sickening commentary on child abuse, a vessel for twisted content, hidden behind a veil of cryptic imagery and sounds. The name Sad Satan itself, a reversal of audio from Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, coupled with the ominous Latin phrases, suggested a satanic or occult theme that resonated through the very core of the game. As the controversy over Sad Satan grew, Obscure Horror Corner fell silent. The channel was abandoned, as though it had been consumed by the darkness it had unleashed. But the obsession didn't end there. Fans began creating clean versions of the game, stripping away the illegal content so others could experience its haunting atmosphere without putting themselves at risk. But even these versions couldn't escape the feeling that something much darker was lurking beneath. The truth behind Sad Satan remains a mystery, one that may never be fully uncovered. Lake City Quiet Pills, a dark web mystery. In 2009, a twisted mystery began to unfold on Reddit, a tale of covert operations, cryptic job postings, and ominous connections. The Lake City Quiet Pills saga would soon captivate the internet's darkest corners, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. It all began with a Redditor named Religion of Peace, later revealed to be Milo. Milo had a dark reputation. He was a former moderator of the notorious r/r jailbait subreddit, a place where illegal content thrived before being banned. He boasted of his alleged involvement in past military conflicts, from the Cold War to the Battle of Normandy. Some were impressed by his supposed knowledge. Others, skeptical of his claims, dismissed him as a fraud. On May 18, 2009, Milo posted a link to a website called Lake City Quiet Pills. The site seemed innocuous at first, a simple image hosting platform, but there was something off about it. The name alone, Quiet Pills, felt unsettling, as if it were code for something more sinister. As people began to explore, they uncovered something far darker than they could have imagined. The source code of the site revealed hidden messages, cryptic job postings that seemed to reference covert military operations. Immediate need, 12 ESS Spanish-speaking, no papers required. For 24/7 DP, English speakers preferred. The language used was filled with acronyms and terms that suggested wet work, assassinations, torture, and more. As the investigation deepened, the chilling connections between the site and real-world events began to surface. On January 19, 2010, the Hamas arms dealer Mahmoud al-Mabhouh was assassinated in Dubai. The operation involved fake identities and covert operatives, an event eerily similar to a party mentioned in the source code of Lake City Quiet Pills. The cost breakdown of the party even included transportation, hotel rooms, and medical supplies, totaling nearly $94,000, suspiciously close to the amount needed for a professional hit. The investigation revealed more disturbing details. The user account 26 was linked to a second alias, Angel26, which had been active on various forums since the early 2000s. Even more disturbing was the discovery that Lake City Quiet Pills was connected to a Remington ammunition plant in Missouri, known for producing billions of rounds of ammunition annually. Could this site have been a front for a network of hitmen, ex-military operatives who had defected from their governments and formed a secret, deadly organization? The site eventually vanished from the internet, but not before leaving behind a trail of cryptic messages and an unsettling sense of dread. Unfavorable Semicircle, a disturbing art project or something darker. In 2015, a mysterious YouTube channel named Unfavorable Semicircle appeared out of nowhere. Its content was bizarre, unsettling, and its scale was unfathomable. In less than a year, the channel uploaded tens of thousands of cryptic, disturbing videos. In 2016, it had been banned, but not before leaving a lasting impression on anyone who stumbled across it. The channel was filled with a surreal mix of experimental horror and deep, disorienting audiovisual content. There were no faces, only strange symbols, flashes of dissonant colors, and haunting, distorted sounds. Viewers described the experience as if they were watching the decay of human consciousness itself, gradually slipping away as though the channel was actively trying to warp their minds. Some believe Unfavorable Semicircle was an avant-garde art project designed to explore the dark recesses of the human psyche. But others believed it was something far more insidious. A message from the unknown, a glimpse into a mind gone mad. Even now, Unfavorable Semicircle continues to haunt the darkest corners of the internet. A reminder that sometimes the things we stumble upon should be left undisturbed, buried in the dark where they belong.